if you are an athlete, whatever sport you do, just make sure you compete clean, because really you can go places. The likes of Usain Bolt has been able to conquer the world even without being tested to ban substances. That's actually is a lesson that we should all go into. Welcome you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adini Ajishafe, and that will lead us to our first story that has to do with ban on doping coming from Athletic Integrity Unit. That's the first story we're looking at. Athletic Integrity Unit banned 3 Kenya athletes for doping. Yes, they were caught right now. They caught napping for the fact that they tested positive to banned substances, and that's why I actually opened the show with the fact that if you are an athlete in whichever sport you do, make sure you compete clean, because if you are caught, it will actually affect your career. Right now, those 3 athletes right now, they are right now facing the music. And let's look at those athletes that have been released by the AIU. Talking about the list of those athletes quickly, talking about 3 Kenya athletes banned by AIU for doping. Mark Otieno, a sprinter, received 2-year ban for use of prohibited substance metastrone, with the suspension starting July 31, 2021. He has been on it. All these results from June 24 to June 24, 2021, disqualified. All the races, all the money, everything he has won has been disqualified. So it's not too good. Alice Kimutai received 3-year suspension for use of a prohibited substance, testosterone. All are results from September 20, 2022, disqualified. And you have the third person that has to do with John Stone Mayo, received 3-year ban for using a performing enhancing drug. They are the one they call EPO, which is result from May 29, 2022, nullified. You can imagine these 3 athletes right now, everything they've achieved so far for themselves and also for Kenya has been disqualified, and really it's not too good. We've seen a whole nation that won gold at the Olympics getting disqualified, and that actually gave Nigeria the chance to win gold in 4x400 meter relay, because one of the athletes in America from USA tested positive after so many years, and that particular athlete caused problem for the quartet. The following around the race, only him caused the problem, and they had to lose the medal of gold. So right now, Kenya athletes, the 3 of them that are just being showcased, have been banned by the Athletics Integrity Unit, trying to see how they can sanitize athletes from testing, at least taking performing enhancing drugs. Where I have in the studio Yusuf Akogu and also Noel Samson. Good to have you guys.
Pleasure.
Now, you just saw the story I picked now. And really, I didn't understand why, although in 2 ways, at times intentionally, athletes go into doping, and at times not intentionally, either the food they consume, the drug, the soap, whatever, the cream, you know, they send them email every now and then telling them this particular thing has been banned, this drug has been banned. If you take food that has these particular components of this and this, don't take it. They always try to do that so the athletes will know what they shouldn't eat, what they shouldn't drink, what they shouldn't put on their body or swallow. So, like I said, in 2 ways. So, unintentionally, look at that player, Onana, Andre, the goalkeeper, who mistakenly took the drug meant for his wife, and that drug cost him ban. So you can see that one is unintentional, but really, those intentional doping really is not so good, because you can go out there and compete clean.
Absolutely. I think the handlers of some of these athletes, they really have a whole lot to do. They have doctors and all of that. They need to guide them properly on how to take some of these things. If you look at Mark Otieno, he's a sprinter, fantastic athlete he is. But one of the things is that they actually have an option of appeal at a court of arbitration for sport in Switzerland. I think probably maybe they may take that option and see how they can, overturn this ban on them. If you look at the other 2, John Stone and Kimutai, road runners, 2 of them are fantastic athletes. They are, and they've done so well for Kenya over the years. When losing this title, I think is something that that is not really good for the country's athlete, because they are actually known for this sport. Kenya is known for this particular
athletics,
sport,
especially marathon,
all over the world. So when this thing is coming out, then the rest of the world now pay attention to them. Oh, really? They are not probably real as well as they may actually think. But I think the handlers and the managers of the Kenya Athletic Federation have a whole lot of work to do. Then probably they may maybe go to CAS as well and see how they can actually appeal their case and see whether they can get this ban upturned.
But even at that, already you are a known name in this. In fact, renowned. You can even use that word renowned in this sport called athletics, especially marathon. Talking about Kenya now. Yes. Do you know that the way it used to be in Nigeria, that anytime you want to play against Nigeria, the fear of our players, that's not the way when you want to compete in marathon.
Absolutely.
If you see Kenyans, the Ethiopian of this world, you are always like, wow, they are here. Oh, how can we win this race? You are already defeated. So I don't expect, So most of them, naturally, they are built for this sport. If you see an average Kenyan who is into marathon, without even telling you I'm a marathoner,
you will know.
You will know.
Yeah.
If you look at Gabriel Selassie, if immediately you see him, you know this is a marathoner.
Yes.
Kipchoge, all of them. So this is a sport that I can say nature has given them naturally. Just go there and do your thing. You can't take it away from them.
Yeah, but with this kind of thing coming out now, the rest of the owners start paying attention to them. If you're coming to compete in a marathon run from Kenya or any other countries in Africa, then they might have to check you properly, whether you're doing it cleanly or you are actually using enhanced substance to get it done. So I think this is not really good for them. The federation, like I said, need to do a whole lot more. They need to sanitize that system, because that's the system that actually made them known all over the world. It's a system that they need to preserve.
Two things make Kenya popular, tourism and marathon.
Yes, athletes. So I think they need to do more of that. The government need to intervene and see where all this is coming from. It may not be intentional, as it may be, but then it's not good for Kenya.
Actually, this that made me remember one of American female athletes. I've forgotten her name.
Maria Jones.
Yeah, where she won. Whenever she's running, you just know you are not winning.
Yeah, that's Maria Jones. She won all the gold.
Before,
everything.
it seemed after years they discovered she was.
Right now, as we speak, they are also in the checking using bowl.
So so when I heard of it, I was sad, because this was when she wants to run. You just know she's
winning.
I would tell them to take first. You fight for second position or third, not first. So after I heard the news of she being banned because of all this, I was really disappointed.
Her own was intentional.
Yeah, it was really disappointed.
Because she really cried and she was like, well, she was sorry for what she did, cheating the whole world and all that. But naturally, Maria Jones is a very good athlete. I don't know how she got crept into EPO.
Yeah, I think I also blame Athletic Federation. Because when you have a good number of athletes coming to compete for a competition, I think what you need to do is to check all of them properly before the competition.
At times,
because
while you are
if
checking,
you don't do that,
there's someone they can beat you to it.
Yes, but if you don't do that, if you know you can check them properly before the competition, there's no need checking them after the competition. Because now they've won the gold, you're not checking them now, they're retrieving the gold.
Okay, I will give you reason. Number one, there are times when you are conducting that test that you cannot get the proper result instantly. So they wait and check and recheck again. That's why you see that most of the results will come afterwards. And then, because instantly, they may not get it. They could beat the whatever system. But afterward, they will take their time in the lab to check the blood sample, the urine sample, everything. And by the time they now get what they want, either they get a report that, okay, this athlete testing extraordinary, just go and they will keep checking. You see athletes 10 years after,
15
8 years after, before it will now come out that yes. That's why, as it is, people are still looking at, okay, using Bolt. Did you take drugs or not? You understand? For him to have been able to set that a record that would take time. It will take time.
I think
but really, anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But for us to have a proper and clean competition, there is need for the federation to up their game.
Yes.
They need to create devices that will be able to check this guy maybe few minutes into the competition.
Or like
they will check
the competition.
They will check.
Even some 30 to 1 hour before the competition properly. Because if you continue to do this after 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 1 year.
Okay, even though I'm not a scientist.
It is affecting the reputation of the competition as it is right now.
But the fact is this, you look at, like I mentioned the word beats, an athlete and the doctor or whoever. I remember one man that actually was arrested who actually committed a lot of doping, giving athletes what they should take and they will never discover it. I've forgotten his name now, but really, they can beat AIU whatever means of testing that moment. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
But there are some drugs, there are some, whatever they give, they either cream, they rub it, or they swallow, or they inject, or whichever way of getting into their body for them to be able to perform. The doctors who are actually producing or getting this thing for them, knows how to beat. It's not doctor or the lab, whatever that will check.
I think to me, any athletes that need enhancing substance to perform, people like that shouldn't even compete at all.
But how,
because you're not coming in with your real strength.
How will you know?
You don't know.
No, you're not coming with your real strength.
And how will you know is he or she is using performing?
You won't know. That's what I'm saying is that an athlete, you should take that as a personal discipline.
Yes,
that
that's
you must
okay.
do.
I understand. You are saying athletes should make sure they compete clean.
Clean.
Don't
Exactly.
need.
Don't use a hard substance to beat the system.
Go there and do your thing.
That is fraudulent.
That's what
Because if you're winning gold, people are hailing you, you are enjoying the fame and everything. Why those who are using their restraints are then languishing? So if you know you can't...
You are cheating.
Yeah, you're cheating. If you know you can't use your restraint, you don't have self-discipline, there's no need for you to venture into the competition. Look at football, for example. You can't do that in football. They do, but not so
At
pronounced.
this World Cup, I remember Yuskonde and who was actually tested. They were tested.
Absolutely.
It happens in football.
Yeah, I know it happens, but it's not so pronounced as it is in
as of
athletics.
today, a particular news came out. I don't want to mention country, that at the World Cup, they actually, every World Cup they come, they take drugs. But seriously, I'm serious. But right now, that is being investigated. And if actually found to be true, then you know how to roll.
The fear about the World Cup, I mean the football, is that if your team or maybe few players in your team is found guilty, it may earn you like 1 or 2 World Cup ban. So that fear is there.
Yeah, but really, those who actually are producing this performing enhancing drug, they know what to do. They are trying to make sure they beat
the system.
It's just like people that are into hard drugs.
They are getting it.
They're trying to find a way.
After a long time,
it will take time.
Yeah, exactly.
Before this match. Even VAR that we see on the pitch. What about the ref that is making mistakes? Is it not instantly? Let's go on there. Let's look at another story that happens with Nigeria. We digress away from athletics. Let's talk about football now. The man of the moment when it comes to Nigerian football, the first thing that comes to your mind over there in Europe is Victor Osimhen. Osimhen now says, I want to win trophies with Napoli, coming from Victor Osimhen. Well, a lot of Nigerians say, well, win trophy with Napoli, but if you see bigger money, a better club. But people are saying you should even go to PSG. After all the players that will be going to PSG win the World Cup next year. So let Osimhen go to PSG and win World Cup for Nigeria in 2026.
Well, for Victor Osimhen is doing so well. He's a fantastic player. He's been doing so well, but I'm not impressed about his commitment to the Super Eagles. If you look at after the break, I think we played like two friendly matches. He was invited. He feigned a faint injury that he didn't come for that competition. But I think a few weeks later he went back to Napoli and played some friendlies with his club side. So I think he needs to do more. His current fame should not get into his head, because there are players that have been there before him. So the like of JJ Okocha, the like of Finidi George, and so many of them, they've done more than what he has done so far. So I think he's really, as a young man, he has a lot to learn. I think he should still remain in Napoli. If you ask me, in the next 1 or 2 years to build his career.
That's what he's saying.
Yes,
he's telling you already.
Remember what happened to Tai when he was at Olympic Marseille. He was doing so well. Fantastic left back he was for them. When he moved to AC Milan, we know how his career ended. So I think he should remain there. He's maybe a big fish in a small pond. Let him.
But really, Napoli is not a small pond.
Well,
when it comes to Italian football, Italian football.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
They've not won Serie A for a long time.
Seriously, this team is just
from the era of Maradona till now, they've not really done so much. So for him to be carrying them on his shoulder right now, I think the respect and the kind of backing he's getting from the management of the club, I think he should stay, enjoy the next 2, 3, 4 years before he can say, okay, let me go to the EPL or La Liga, or probably to PSG, as you said.
Well, I think you wanted to say something about what he was saying.
Yeah, probably to me, he should just stay at Napoli, because he's the top striker now, having much of playing time. Maybe he should just, probably if he wants more money, talk to the management, okay, increase my salary. Because after all those things, the main purpose of everything is just to have
money.
Yes.
You like money.
The funny thing is that when he was bought by Gattuso, there was a complaint that he was overpriced. But Gattuso said something. He said you will not enjoy this boy now till maybe the next 2 or 3 years later.
and when he's getting matured,
but that is getting, is actually becoming so clear. There are some coaches that actually see, ahead.
Good one there. Gattuso seeing something wonderful in Victor Osimhen, the player that so far scored 38 goals for them, and really he has been fantastic for the Panelopes, as they call Napoli over there, the city of Naples. Now, let's quickly move away. Let's talk about EFL Cup. We look at some fixtures, EFL Copa del Rey and also Women Champions League. Talking about EFL now, Blackburn Rovers, Nottingham Forest, that will be coming up. Charlton Athletic, Brighton, Manchester United, Burnley. What a way to go. The stubborn Burnley against Manchester United. Who wins tonight in this game? Well, maybe Man United just have to up their game, although from the way it is. Now, let's look at Spanish Copa del Rey. Copa del Rey also be coming up. Let's look at those fixtures. Atletico Saguntino, what name they are, against Rayo Vallecano, FC Andorra versus Levante, Merida, they will be tackling Alaves, Numancia, Sporting Gijon, Arenas Club against Real Valladolid, Anedo, Osasuna, Korea against Real Sociedad. You have Juventus Torremolinos versus Sevilla, Tenerife, Pontevedra, and you have Logroñés against Albacete. Those are the matches that will be coming up in the Spanish Copa del Rey fixtures that we just have to at least let you know. And let's talk about women football quickly. Women Champions League will also be coming up. Women Champions League fixtures, Juventus Feminine against Lyon Feminine. Zurich women, they take on Barcelona, Arsenal women, Barcelona Feminine, they are Feminico, they'll be taking us Rosengard women as Benfica versus Bayern women. That's a big one there. Let's take it one by one. Let's talk about the EFL now. You look at most of these games that will be coming up. You just have to give it up to the teams that like I'm sure Brighton, Manchester United, Burnley. Especially that Manchester United Burnley, they should be very careful.
Yes, absolutely. United need to be very careful because some of our players that went to the World Cup are not yet back. A few of them are back, but not the entire team. So I'm really scared of this game tonight. So, but I think we'll be able to get one.
I recall you're a Man United fan. So
you now will collect today.
So United should be able to beat Burnley today and then move to the next round.
What if Burnley beats United?
They will collect.
Did you hear that?
They will collect.
Well, he is making his own prediction. He's a Chelsea fan, but we know we're going to.
We are waiting. You know, anytime Man United, Man City, Chelsea, the big boys are playing against the B club like Brighton, like Burnley.
It's a problem.
It's always difficult. I don't know why.
Yes, club like Brighton, they are giant killers. Burnley as well. So they have done so much to the big teams in the EPL. They are actually spoilers. That is what I call them. Because they will end up, spoiling your chances without them winning anything.
They don't win anything and they spoil your chances.
Exactly. So I think I'm really scared of this game. I think Rick De Haan needs to take it very, very seriously and see how he can feature a strong side against this Burnley team.
It needs to feature a strong side, even though the players are yet to return. But really, Burnley might not just be a piece in the park. They just have to work harder because they might not just throw easily in the park there, over there at the Old Trafford. That game will be coming up. And now that we talk about that, let's look at the Women's Champions League. Let's just digress a bit to Women's Champions League. The matches are coming up. Bayern women. Barcelona, well, we have our assistant Oshoala there. Benfica, we have Inchebe, a Nigerian lady doing well over there for Benfica. Rosengard, Arsenal, Juventus, Lyon. This is a team that really done when it comes to Women's Champions League, talking about Lyon. And right now, they'll be facing Juventus today.
Yeah, I think Women's Champions League is gaining momentum. It's becoming so popular, not like
before.
Not like before, actually. So I think all the features actually stand out, if you ask me. Barcelona against, Rosengard women. You see
Bayern,
women
Benfica
against Arsenal. But again, you can't take away the fact that clubs like Lyon, Barcelona, and of course Arsenal, they have a very strong female team. So it's too close to call and very difficult to predict as it is. But I think going from the experience we had with some of these teams, I think FC Barcelona, Lyon, and of course Arsenal actually stand a very good chance. Of course, the Benfica women, because of the Nigerian lady in that place.
I put a bet on these matches. You will enjoy the matches. There's none of the matches you watch, either this rich women Arsenal, that you enjoy. That's what's about the female.
Women football are really getting interesting.
Yeah,
we just have to enjoy it.
separate these days.
Very pacey.
Unless you watch closely.
Before you know that these are women, especially for their hair at times. It shows that, okay, it's long or thereabout. But really, the way they play football now in Europe, especially in Europe, when you watch women football.
And I think that is where we are losing out in terms of development in female football. We're actually losing out. If you look at what Morocco has invested in female football, don't forget they won the last Africa Women Nations Cup. And I think that is what Nigeria needs to do for us to develop our female football.
Well, we just have to get it right when it comes to women football right now. It's getting well over there in USA, Europe, and even China. We just have to get it right when it comes to women football. We need to get our own. It's getting more interesting. And the last one says about Diogo Costa. That is the goalkeeper that did well for Portugal, even though they were defeated at the World Cup. But really, outstanding. FC Porto wants Manchester United to pay £65 million release clause for goalkeeper. If you want him, cough out £65 million.
I think that is huge, but I really do not think United need a goalkeeper right now.
Maybe, the way it's going.
No, the way have Henderson is there.
Why do you need a
they want competition. If you want the best to come out, get somebody that will compete against them.
Yeah, but Henderson was there. He was competing with the guy. He was even ID number one.
But he couldn't get number one.
You loaned him out. But I think he's, you try and bring him instead of wasting this money on another goalkeeper. We should go and get a centre forward. Yeah, that is a major problem United have. A centre forward, maybe a DM. I think that is what United need right now, not in the goalkeeper.
A lot of people may not know the DM you are saying. It's defensive midfielder. When you say DM now, they'll be thinking you are talking about Twitter. Anyway, a good one there coming from Yusuf and also Noel Samson. They've been with me in the studio talking sport. Really, it's been a juicy one. We have to go now. I am Adini Ajisha. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.